Recently, there have been laws passed out saying that all public buildings should be accessible to everybody.
This is why the school built an elevator and installed a ramp.
Over the years, people with disabilities have gone through a lot.
They have been through a lot of discrimination and unjust treatment.
So we thought it would be interesting to interview some people to find out some of their thoughts and opinions about this issue.
We visited Access Living. Access Living is an organization that helps people with disabilities get in contact with job interviews and assist them in other ways. They also hire some people with disabilities to work there. Here are some employees that have been hired through Access Living.
A few years ago, I applied for a job and I gave my resume. And I thought they would call me. But 2 months, 3 months, 4 months passed and they never responded. And so many times, no one responded to my resume. And one organization, Access Living, they called me. And they called me to interview with me, and I was quite surprised.
I think that the biggest thing that has to change is people's attitude towards people with disabilities. We have been kept in the closet for a long time, out of the workplace, out of the community, through making barriers, sidewalks that are inaccessible, buildings that are inaccessible, etc. I think that if people would begin to see us as people first and with disabilities later, that they would make the accommodations needed to allow us to work in the workplace. And a lot of that is through education.
We all know about discrimination, gender discrimination, racial and age discrimination. Here are some thoughts about discrimination against people with disabilities.
I know there is because the rate of unemployment among people with disabilities is about 65 to 70%.
Sometimes you get nice people who, help you out. Then you get some people that either stare at you and then look at you and look and laugh, and that kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Many people with disabilities have gone through a lot of rough times and hardship. Over the years, they have gone through a lot of names like handicapped and physically challenged. But do you know those are not proper terms for people with disabilities?
The preferred term is people with disabilities, where you put the person first and the disability second, okay? I'm a person with a disability.
You now know that people will always be people, and just because they may be different in some ways doesn't mean we don't have many things in common.
Lighten up and just realize we're not from another planet and we're like everyone else. We just want jobs and families and be able to go to social gatherings without a whole lot of trouble.
Our disabilities don't change what we are. It's just a part of our life. And if people could look at us as people and give us the opportunity that everybody else is afforded, it would make it a much easier way of communicating and open up a lot of opportunities for both the non-disabled and the disabled.
We're just people, just like you. The only difference is that I sit down all the time. That's the only difference between me and you, because I work. I have, as I said, I have a daughter. I drive. I do sports. There's no really limitations that we have. We want to be seen as people first, and who just so happen to have a disability.